Hey everybody, welcome again to the GGRated.net live show. Here we are all the way at episode 21, and I'm your host, the Iceman. Once again, we're joined by the famous and the well-respected and loved Hydra. How are you doing?
Well respected and loved, seriously. Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm doing good. As I was talking with all of you guys, I had a troublesome day today, but yeah, it's rolling. I'm ready to cover all the Starcraft 2 news and more than happy to do it.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you're here, and now you can get your mind on something a little less frustrating than work. But that other voice that you guys heard was not Sebastian. He did not have a sex change. We are joined by a special guest. Miss Suna, aka VampireLady, is joining us today. And how you doing, Suna?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. For the people who don't know me, I'm Suna. My name is Suna, and I go by the nickname VampireLady. I cast occasional tournaments as well as sell female cups. Yeah, we do have Starcraft female tournaments, and that's what I cast. And sometimes I cast other tournaments as well. So basically, if some of you guys know me, that's where you know me from.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You covered the big Dailymotion Cup. It was fairly big.
Exactly.
Probably
yeah,
most of the big names in Europe, they were there, and
Definitely.
you covered all of those games. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Well,
it was
awesome.
like 5K prize pool money, so that was pretty huge. Yep.
Sounds good. Well, glad to have you here. Nice to have a
Thank
third
you very
voice on the
much.
show
I'm honored.
to break up the monotony at times, but it's going to be a fun show today. We have a little bit more laid-back show. We don't have as much information to cover as we usually do, and some of the topics are a little more light than usual, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. So,
It's not
what
a
do you
big
guys
deal.
say?
Don't worry about that. I can talk about White Round the barbecue for at least an hour.
Oh,
so
yes.
it's all good. Don't worry.
Yeah, no problems there. I can definitely talk about some White Raw barbecue action as well. But speaking of that, why don't we jump straight into the first topic at hand, which is the HomeStory Cup III. Took place this past week at Takeson's house over in Germany. We had plenty of superstars invited there to participate in this kind of a home event, I guess you could call it. And turned out to be exactly what I was hoping it for to be. I mean, lots of fun. Everybody looked like they were just laid back, having a great time, and heard opinions from lots of people because we just saw a multitude of different players coming to the mic and casting with Takesen. And for me, it was really great, and it was like sort of like the after party where they winded down from DreamHack. Yeah. So epic.
Yeah. Felt a bit like that, and it was really funny to watch. It's a different approach to a big tournament. I mean, I don't think you ever had a house that stacked with pro gamers. You know, like all the top gamers, and not only from Europe. You had MC, you had several gamers from North America. Hydra and Machine were there, and it was just awesome to see them interact on a fairly relaxed and laid-back environment. I mean, you had sofas, people could just relax and sit down. There's a Coke, there's a vodka, there's a barbecue with White Raw. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, it
Suna,
was
what do you think about it?
I think it was definitely a lot of fun. You know, it wasn't actually not Takeson's own house. He rented that apartment for this special occasion. And it was on top of a bar, I believe, or the bar was on
Like
top,
a
actually.
pub in there. I think it's
Yeah,
the
the pub
ESL
was on
house
top.
owns that, right?
I'm not really sure. Anyway, what I do know is that he worked like 3 months on building and rebuilding that house, and that was especially created for all the players who came back from DreamHack.
Oh, wow.
You know, all the big names. So that was pretty convenient, so to speak. I mean, players like MC and Hydra and Machine, they were already in DreamHack, so why not just take them over and have a really big ass tournament going on there in the new house for the players. So that was amazing, especially that big screen, you know, with all the autographs of all the players. That was so amazing to see the glass screen, you know. Yep, it was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's something that I hope they keep continuing this tradition because for me, this is something that I really looked forward to as soon as I heard it. And I mean, just bringing out some specific examples that I really enjoyed, just the cast of different characters that came onto the mic. I remember one time Tarson and Demago were on the mic together and just joking around and talking trash about DPS of Marines versus Zerg units, and they were just joking around and talking, and just that kind of environment was really fun and enjoyable to listen to. So
Yeah, definitely. It was very much fun. It was a casual kind of atmosphere. There was
exactly.
And different kind of players casting all the time. They could go and stay where they wanted to and go to the pub as they please. It was a lot of fun. It looked really nice, and it turned out pretty well.
I wish I was there.
What you guys
you.
what you guys think about those casting teams? I mean, you had pro gamers casting most of the games. It's something that you don't get that often. There was some weird combos, weird combinations. When you have White Ra sitting with MC, it's hard, but they have a very deep knowledge of the game, but they have a hard time transmitting it in English. But then you had some really interesting combinations like Asu Hobbs. I liked, for example, Night End with his squeaky voice. He knew what he was talking about. Yeah, what you guys think?
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Personally, I did not mind the accents, so I don't find dialects or whatever things like that a problem. I mean, I just find that even more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a nice addition to the casting. It was really fun to hear like all those different kind of accents. That was amazing. Exactly. And especially Todd, who was speaking in this really cute French accent. That was so adorable. That was adorable.
Todd has a fan. Todd as a fan. I hope he's gonna watch this show.
Accent. I think French people talking in English is just so cute. It sounds so adorable.
It was cool. Go ahead, Jonathan. Sorry.
As you were saying, Hydra, that's the one thing I think that I liked most. I mean, the games were nice, and I mean, we could always see these sort of matchups in other places.
Yeah,
for example, DreamHack, we saw most of these players fight it out. For this event, especially what I enjoyed the most and I took away the most was the individual casting, and you see a little bit more into the lives and the personalities and the characters of each of these superstars that you don't normally, get this much interaction with. So I think this is something that kind of expose these players more, exactly who they are, so you know more about the faces and the personalities behind the screens of the the nicknames who are playing.
To be honest, like recently we had a tsunami of all of these kind of tournaments. To be honest, like some players even neglect to show up at some tournaments, and I have to be honest, I really don't blame them. I mean, because they've been playing so many tournaments, they've been traveling all over. I've talked to Naniwa, for example. He told me that he was really getting tired from traveling all over. I mean, as an outsider, you'd probably think it's really a lot of fun and really nice to travel all over, but sometimes if you have to travel like all over from one place to another, you're just getting tired, really.
Yeah, I could imagine. Especially with some of the raw schedules that they have. I mean, with the time zone difference and so many different places that they have to play, it's probably more inconvenient than what most of us think. It's the dream job. These guys are living out the life, playing Starcraft for a living, when in reality, Naniwa, for example, on the last week we talked about the NASL and how he was just thankful to be out of it finally. So I guess those stresses do get to people.
Yep. Yeah. But it was a really cool event. They seemed at least pretty at ease, like relaxed, to say the least. I read, I think it was today, a post on Team Liquid from TakeSense saying roughly how much he spent, how much he was invested on having all of that thing rolling. And he talked something about 50,000 euros to start.
Holy
wow.
Yeah,
serious?
But he said that he didn't lose money. He recovered plenty of it, and it was an investment. So it's a plan for the future, and he's already thinking about HomeStory Cup 3, no 4. Next one, 4.
Yeah.
But he talked something. Yeah, he talked something like 2,000 euros on people staying in the hotels, 1,000 euros on renting cars to pick people on the airport, bring them back, all of that stuff. Then he rented the pub. He rented the Irish pub, more money. So he talked about a fairly big sum on that link. So it's a big investment. But from what he was saying, I mean, he said, it's fine. I didn't lost any money, so I guess he made some profit there.
Well, he had plenty of sponsors there. I'm sure he had quite a bit of backing for this event. This is not something
definitely.
that I don't think he dug deep into his own pockets to pull out for this. I mean, he's going to have sponsorships, and he knows he's going to it's going to be a lucrative venture for him, because he's going to have thousands of people turning in to to see these players play, and overall it's going to be an investment for the future, like you were saying, Hydra.
Yeah. And keep in mind that the stream, you had periods on the stream where you had like what, 25,000, 30,000 people watching. It is a lot of people. I mean, even the biggest tournaments in Europe don't get that many views, at least not for now. The bigger one that exploded now was DreamHack. I mean, when Hydro was playing against MC, it was something like 87,000 people watching, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a sign that it's growing. It's still growing. And I'm pretty sure that Takesen also got some money out of advertising and all the promotion on the stream. So yeah, good for him. I mean, he had some space there. Yeah.
He even got a warning from Blizzard. I mean, there you go. Like, it's not only.
You want to go on about that? Okay.
Wait, yeah, explain that to our listeners and viewers.
Well, that was pretty shocking. I mean, that just kind of explains that Blizzard has people all over, and like you have to be aware of what you're saying on stream and what you're doing on a stream as well. Because I mean, just a negligence of a player like that, just being lazy and not moving to another computer because he didn't want to use his own. He couldn't be bothered to move a seat over. And then he played on another's account, and Takesen actually got a phone call from Blizzard telling they should stop doing that immediately. Otherwise, the account was going to be banned. But I think that's kind of lenient. I think maybe more stuff was said there, but I'm not really sure. Of course, I was not there.
Yeah, well, but sharing just my thoughts on that, I understand the policy.
Definitely, of course. Of course,
I understand the policy, but when you have someone breaking the policy, that is one of the players that with more visibility. I mean, how many accounts did TLO and Huck already provided to Blizzard? Let's put it on this very direct, rough way.
That's not the issue. The issue is actually that it's a really big event and it's representing Blizzard, because whatever tournament you're having, Blizzard always has a say in it, and it always have to give his approval.
It's the Blizzard name tag that's getting exposure to the bottom line.
It's true.
Exactly. Yeah. So Blizzard is giving his approval, and when you're hosting a tournament with Blizzard's approval, and when you're borrowing one another's account like that, when that's clearly stated that's not you're not supposed to be doing that, well, obviously they're going to make a phone call at least. I mean, I think they were pretty lenient, actually, just warning to ban the account. I mean, because Blizzard doesn't want to obviously promote themselves or actually advertise themselves as an organization that allows this kind of abuse.
Well, I'm going to leave here just a message. Huck, if you're listening to this, if you need an account, I got 3 EU accounts. Just get one to Masters. I'll be more than happy. Okay? You're fine. I don't say anything to anyone. Just use it on all the tournaments. All good. Just contact me. Okay? Cool, bro.
All right. Well, should we get into the actual game results and we'll discuss that, since we've gone looking at the tournament itself from a viewpoint of our own, and let's just talk about the games now, actually. But pretty strong display from the players who I would have expected so far. Naniwa, Whitera, Idra, and MC all coming out at the top of their groups with 3-0 clean sheets, and I really didn't expect anything different from those players. But then a few surprises. Todd, 2-1, top of his group. Also... Stefano, 3-0 in his group.
Exactly.
I was surprised about that. Hats off to Stefano.
I was very surprised. I was going to mention Stefano because he really struck me with his 2-0. I think it was 2-1 against Huck, or 2-0, not really sure. Stefano did an amazing job with his games.
Yeah,
amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. And Saze, I forgot to mention him, 3-0, still the hot player right now. And... I did want to mention something about Jinro. I was watching some games of his earlier with where he was playing Moman, and Jinro just seems really off his game. And then seeing him, I mean, I thought maybe in this environment he would have calmed down a bit and the nerves would have been gone and he would have been playing a lot stronger, but he seemed to be on the back foot a lot and just not the same Jinro we're used to. And I don't know, he just seems to have some problems right now, because Moman was winning and he had, like, a clear chance to win. It was like 99% victory, I believe Damago was saying, and just Moman threw the victory away. But I mean, if Jinro is playing like that over in Korea, I mean, I'm not surprised why he's losing, because it was just some sloppiness, and I don't know.
Yeah, Jiro really hasn't been putting himself up to his game. I feel like he has been doing this one kind of style, not really evolving himself, not really
No
dedicating.
progression.
Yeah, exactly. No progression and no really deviations in his game style, which I see from a lot of players. For example, Stefano did an amazing job, and that's what I lack actually from Jiro.
Yeah.
Well,
Hydra, give us your thoughts on the groups.
Yeah, well, just saying that Gino actually got a 2-1. He was able to pass this group stage, but he wasn't on top of his game, no. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but there was a moment where I think it was Rotterdam that was commentating on the fact that Gino was just raging on a room on the side. He was lathering and things weren't going very well. So he just started getting the volume really high and just raging to everyone, against everyone.
Really?
And yeah, but he wasn't on the tournament. He was just on the side waiting for him to play. So he just had the closed door and there was like a room on the side with computers and he was just lathering. And apparently things weren't going very well. And he started just raising the volume of the music really loud, but he was raging so much that he didn't notice that instead of only him listening the music on his headset, everyone was listening to the music. And it was getting louder and louder and louder. So
Everyone in the city?
well, anyway, at least everyone on the house was listening to it, and
I see.
I'm not sure exactly what's going on with him. I already commented in the past that I was wondering if he's not focusing more on getting used to live in Korea and now maybe working more on learning Korean, going out more and not actually focusing on the training. But this is all rumors. I mean, I would like to sit with Gino and just ask him because I'm pretty sure he would have some reasons and more interesting perspectives over it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, taking a look here at the groups, just a quick look. Saza did pretty well. I mean, 3-0, he was just beasting out. Idra 3-0, really good for Idra in my modest opinion because as you guys seen on the previous tournaments, he did fairly well, but I mean, every time he faced MCs, things start going pear-shaped and not working for him. He was able to take clean wins here, 3-0, and top of his group. Sokka, Adele Scott, and Rat was a really close call there. Jimpo was like light years behind them. I actually like Jimpo, but he needs to evolve more his game. MC 3-0, just owning his group. We saw the comeback from the Muslim, but I mean, he needs to shape up again. He's a good Terran.
Yeah.
I think he's just trying to come back. As everyone knows, he had some problems when he was heading to DreamHack. He suffers from some anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and I guess that when he when he realized that he had to go to the airport and there wouldn't be anyone there to pick him up, he decided not to go. He had some panic attack.
Really? Who was that?
The Muslim, the British player. Yeah, he made a comment on Team Liquid saying that when he was little, once he got lost on some big place. I'm not sure if it was an airport, and since then he has panic attacks. Yeah, I'm being honest. I can link to the thread.
That's hilarious.
So what happened is he had everything set to go and play on DreamHack, but then he got informed that no one would be expecting him on the airport. He had to manage by himself, and he had a panic attack and decided not to go because he felt like the moment he would arrive on the airport, he would just froze there and.
Well, I'm sure next time if he lets know, I'm sure there will be volunteers to pick up his hand and take him back to DreamHack.
Hydra exposing people here.
He just needs to let us know. I'm sure.
He needs a caring hand, some assistance.
Yeah, exactly.
Just drop him your digits and go pick him up. Bring him some sandwich or something and
exactly
walk him to his house.
Yeah.
Never mind. Moving on. Moving on. You had Stefano doing 3-0. I watched some of the games from Stefano. Really good playing on the group stage. Then it felt like he was feeling the pressure, when he passed the group stage. When the big boys start showing up, he was feeling a bit of a pressure there. But still, he tried his best.
Big boys. He was actually facing Huck. He managed to 2-1 Huck. And that, Huck is a pretty big boy, actually, because he took the tournament. So I think Stefano did an amazing job, honestly. That guy is...
In my opinion, he did very well on the group stage, and then when he passed to the brackets to see if he would be able to reach the finals, he apparently started feeling the pressure. I recall watching some matches from him, and he wasn't playing like he played on the group stage. Maybe he wasn't comfortable, but still, big signs there from Stefano. He might be one of the big Zergs coming out from the European side of the community. Ep.21. Then, I mean, Insolence and Naruto, with due respect to both of them, they're not on the same level as the other players on this group. At least that's my personal opinion. Then you had Naniwa beasting out everyone. The big surprise of the tournament, would you guys agree with me? People weren't expecting Tarson to do so well. What do you think?
Tarson's a good player. Honestly, I did not think he was going to beast this group. I mean, we got Naniwa, Damaga, Bishu, and Tarson all in this group, so this is going to be a rowdy group. And then Tarson 2-1, Damaga 0-2 at the bottom. If I had bet on this group, I would have definitely been hurting in my wallet because this is not the results I would have expected. But Tarson, I mean, showing us that he's still a strong player, a formidable opponent, not to be...
Yeah, you should remember this very much because, I mean, a lot of players base someone's skill off a tournament or like a ladder skill or whatever, but that is so momentary. I mean, because Starcraft 2, as White Raw mentioned himself, is so dicey. Like every player, it's really easy for a player to come in and reach high level, and it's really easy for high level players to compete one another. I mean, that's one of the pro gamers told me actually. That's one of the reasons that people from Europe and such can actually compete with Koreans, and I think that's very true. I think StarCraft 2 is a very kind of well, I don't want to say dicey, but it can turn every way, you know. I mean, if you're skilled, it doesn't mean you're going to win every time. And like Tarson has been known to lose a lot in recent tournaments and big events, but this event in HomeStory, he managed to beat Idra, which is so surprising. He managed to beat Goody and Adele Scott in the lower bracket. I was really surprised. I mean, I really didn't expect, if there's one name I didn't expect that would make that far, it's Tarson.
Yeah, well, good point there, Asuna. I would completely agree with you, but this sort of event, I mean, probably has different influence on the player, different sort of pressure, different sort of nerves come into play, and maybe some players feel more at home in this sort of environment instead of, on a stage environment. And for this case, Tarson showed us what he's really about. So I mean, as you were saying, the game is still a little bit volatile. I mean, you can never really say, okay, this player is godlike. He is not going to be dethroned or whatever. So it can go either way, especially, best out of 3. It's really almost anybody's game at times. But
that's definitely true.
Tarson played very well on this tournament. I'm used to see Tarson a lot on online tournaments, online events, not as much on the big live stages. I think the last time I recall seeing him was on a past Intel Extreme Masters, like last year. But he is a good Terran. He might not get the visibility that he deserved, but on this specific tournament on HomeStory, he did very well.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I mean, in those tournaments which you just mentioned online, I've been asking a lot of his games, and I really have seen him. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I've seen him losing a lot. And I wasn't even getting surprised because I knew he would probably bow very soonish. So that's why I'm so surprised that he took out so many big names. And really, it's like you say, Jonathan. Some people, it's really StarCraft is very volatile, and if you don't have your day, if you're feeling unwell or uncomfortable or whatever, that's definitely going to translate into your game, and definitely the more so with StarCraft 2. And I think that's definitely something to take account.
Okay, just a note here. Respect for White Rai, as you guys can follow on the stream at the moment. You went Void Ray, Carrier, Mothership against Dark Force, and it was fun to watch because I'm not even used to see carriers being used on high-end gaming anymore.
Especially by someone like White Rai.
And listen, he made it work, which was really fun. I mean, there's obviously a surprise factor here. I'm pretty sure the Dark Force wasn't expecting that, but having carriers and the Mothership going around destroying everything was just fun to watch, and that's exactly what people can watch at the moment on the stream. Okay, let's just following with the rest of the group results.
Yeah,
like I was saying,
cover the rest of the group results so we can jump into the brackets.
Yeah. Final groups, we had Naniwa just beasting it out, Tarsan 2-1 passing with the second spot on Group G. Dimaga 0-2, disappointment for me, I was hoping more of him. And on the last group, we had White Ra in the breaks, in the gaps between his barbecuing. He just went to play and destroyed everyone 3-0, and Goody got the second spot with 2-1. Dark Force and Machine, the two Zergs on the group, weren't solid enough, and Grandpa Toss just dominated there. Then we passed on to the brackets, and we saw some very interesting matchups here, and we saw like Tarsan coming out of the ashes. Tarsan was able to pass, he faced Hydra and got 2-0 by Hydra, and all of a sudden he was on the loser's bracket, and if he lost one more game he would be out. And from then on he just started going completely berserk mode, dominating everyone. 2-1 over Goody, 2-0 over Del Scott, 2-0 over Thorzane, and then 2-1 over Hydra, and he finally faced MC on a best out of 5 and lost 3-1. So he defeated a lot of really big players to try to get a spot on the finals. Was close, not enough, but still very good result for Tarsan, no doubt.
And one thing I'd like to point out again is you were saying earlier, Stefano was quite powerful in the brackets, as we saw. I mean, he defeated Jinro, he defeated X-Lord, defeated White Ra in a great series, 2-1 over White Ra, and then fell to MC. So, I mean, he did make it quite far, and he was passing big names in the tournament.
Definitely, he was. And then he lost to MC, which is not that surprising.
Respectable. I mean, it's MC.
Yeah, I know. I really didn't see those games, but if I know MC well, he probably would have forgated or like a timing attack. That's what MC probably would have. Yeah, exactly. Done. No, one thing I would like to say as well is this player Adele Scott. Adele Scott was amazing in the. I think he had like in the previous big events, he was really having these really nice results, taking on big players. But as of recently, I really haven't been seeing him doing that amazing. It's because I think his style is really predictable. A friend of mine who plays on ladder keeps playing against him and keeps winning as well, because he has such a. One of the things he said is that Adele Scott's playstyle is really predictable, and therefore he keeps winning. And
he keeps going for the. He keeps going for the same thing over and over, and you're just able to counter him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what gonna how people are gonna counter it, and the same applies for his playstyle. And that's actually one of the comments on the stream. One of the commentators said that Adele Scott had this build order, and people now Terran players knew how to counter that, and the same applies for PvP.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Adele Scott is the one who favors the gateway units, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The mass gateway units, and I mean, if you stick with that style while everybody else is changing and revolutionizing their game, obviously you're gonna get exposed, and you're gonna get bodied. So
bodied.
Really, really strong word, a bit solid. Yeah, I get you. I know what you mean. But we had some really interesting matchups here. I mean, the group stage was quite good, but then when things start hitting up, we saw a lot of really cool matchups. I mean, Saza was coming full steam ahead from the group stage and faced X-Lord, and X-Lord just stomped him on the upper bracket. Then you had Huck. Huck was just on his day, everything top of his game.
On point. I mean,
just he knew what to do. He was doing the right thing. Very good game decision. Everything was flowing for him. People obviously were insisting on the fact that he was playing Protoss, blah, blah, blah. I don't like that discussion very much. Personally, don't worry much about it. It's all about skill, especially at this high-level gaming. And Huck had what it takes. So he started beasting out, destroying everyone. He crushed Todd, then he went for X-Lord. He faced Hydra, was one of the big matchups that everyone wanted to watch. People were expecting them to get up off the chairs and start slapping each other, but it didn't happen. Sorry to disappoint everyone. And then you had the big clash, Huck versus Naniwa. Quite an intense PvP. And let me mention that for PvP, people usually complain it's fairly boring. Was a really intense series. Pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Would just like to propose a question here, as we saw Naniwa beat MC. And as you guys may know, Naniwa is making his way over to GSL, to the Korean scene. I mean, Naniwa is a fearsome opponent, and seeing him defeat MC like this, I mean, it just kind of solidifies in my mind what kind of player Naniwa is, and it raises my expectations and my hopes for what he can produce over there in Korea now. What's your guys' thoughts on this?
Well, I think the Korean ladder or the Korean playstyle is definitely different from the European playstyle. So I think he needs to adjust to that. And as we know, Naniwa is really an analytical player. He likes to watch all the replays. Like I'm pretty sure every pro gamer does, but he is specifically told me that he loves to kind of see the replays and see how people play and try to adjust to that kind of play style. And he's really a smart player. I think he can adjust pretty well in Korea, but really the Korean play style is so different. It's so hard to predict. I mean, how that's going to go, but I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, well, as you were mentioning, the adaptive play style of Naniwa, as we have sounded almost like a broken record on this show, we have said multiple times how he is just, he's cleaned up his act. He, as Hydra has always brought out, he struggled back in the day, and he was just looking like he wanted to find himself, and then he finally was able to, get his feet on solid ground. And just that type of player that he is, it shows me that, he has a really good chance of doing well in Korea, and, studying the tapes, working in the lab all day, he's going to put his homework and his time in, and I'm really excited to see what he can do, because I want to see another player such as Huck, who is a similar style of player, I would say, in terms of his work ethic and his focus on the game, and just how competitive and a hard player he is. It seems that Naniwa is going to do likewise and follow suit in Korea. I mean, it's going to be nice to see how we see these foreign players develop their talent and then move over to Korea and hopefully, start owning the scene.
Huck is a very hard-working player. He's actually one of the players who plays even more than the Koreans on the ladder. So that's how much of a hard worker he is. So I mean, he won like 2 major tournaments in a row.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Yeah. But really, he deserves it because he trains so much. He plays a gazillion games on a daily basis. He plays like more than the Koreans themselves. It's just astounding.
Definitely. And
just want to wrap it up. I mean, everyone knows by now. If you don't, I'm going to spoil it for you. But Huck took the final win here on this tournament, well deserved. We had several Naniwa versus Huck clashes. Both of them, the big ones, the 2 best out of 5s, were very interesting. Actually, best out of 5 and best out of 7, they were very interesting to follow. PvPs, but PvPs changing, and it was interesting to take a look at it. And now we have Naniwa, Thorzane, and Fnatic Phoenix, along with Cheth in Korea. We're going to see them on the next GSL. It's going to be awesome. So, I'm hoping for that, and hopefully it's going to be a nice representation for the foreign scene. European, North American, doesn't matter. A final comment here about the HomeStory Cup. Idra, last time MC typed to Idra, he typed to him something, saying something like this: "Are you angry?" It was on DreamHack, if I'm not mistaken, or on MLG. "Are you angry?" And the message, the single message that MC had for Nania was, "I'm a big fan of yours." He typed that on HomeStory. Yeah, in game. He said, "GG, good luck, have fun," and then, "I'm a big fan of yours." So yeah. Different postures towards different people, I guess. Okay, moving on.
It's really, I mean, MC and Idra have this thing going on for the public, kind of a hate-love relationship. I think, I mean, not I think, but I know Idra said so himself, and MC as well. MC actually stated that, pointed that out, that he liked Idra's personality, and that he and Idra are good friends, but they love to dare one another out on streams, events, just to keep the public going, and just causing some drama.
To spice it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like it like that, so whatever. It's all fine for me. But speaking of MC, let's take that segue and transition into the Korean scene. And let's talk about the GSL and the GSTL, everything that's going on over there. How about that?
Yeah, that will be fairly brief as well. We're just going to cover up what's going on the Korean side of the scene. And we'll be done for today, I guess, with a couple more comments in the end. But where do you want to start?
Let's talk about the GSL groups real quick here as I get that on screen, and then we'll roll the VOD.
Yeah.
GSL, new season is starting up here. We have GSL July, and the groups have just been posted here. And I'm looking at the groups here, and it's a nice spread of players that we have. For me, it's going to be a little bit hard to see which group the group of death is so far, but I'm thinking Group A possibly could be group of death. NEST, July, Trikster.
I'm looking at D and H, one of those two. What do you think?
D and H.
VampireLady, what's your opinion on this one?
I think Alicia is definitely one of the better players. Coca and Marine King, oh my god, they are like amazing. And H, Inca and MC are definitely good. But yeah, I think D and A are interesting for me. Personally, I'd say D and A.
I honestly don't think H is very much of a group death. I mean, Inca, we saw him play really well, but then he got basically molested in the finals.
Did you guys watch GSL today? I was so surprised. There was actually a gun run casting today. Oh my!
Oh, we did? Oh, I haven't seen that.
The gun run was in Korea casting GSL.
Awesome.
Like, whoa, what am I seeing here? You know, and then. Like one of the pro gamers, I'm not gonna say who it was. He messaged me. He said, "Oh my God, gun run on on GSL. Mute time to mute."
Haters.
Oh God, so bad.
They would love to like have everyone cast their code. That's pretty nice, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I didn't even knew he was there getting ready to cast. I did saw him sitting down on one of the previous days, but I never even gave a second thought about it. I never thought that, okay, he might be there to cast. So cool, yeah, Gun Run is awesome. I always liked his voice, actually. But yeah, on these groups, for me, Group D is menacing. Lozira, Alicia, and Marine King on the same group is nasty. And like I was saying, for me, personally, Inca, MC, and Bomb are on the same group is nasty as well. But I guess we're going to wait and see. There's always a lot of surprises on the GSL. Let's see what comes out of this big code S for July.
Yep, definitely. And I want to mention and actually point out something as well. As you guys know or may not know, we actually had a female cup, I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the day before.
No, I think it was streamed on a couple of days. It was...
Yeah, I have to bad memory. It was actually yesterday. We had an Iron Lady Cup. And we had like 30 females competing in this tournament. There were way more subscribers, but they didn't show up in time. So eventually we had 30 female gamers competing, and that was amazing. It was an amazing fight. A lot of Z players, and one of the first... the girl who actually was first, she was a high masters rank number 4, and she played against, you guys know the VT clan VT.
Yeah.
She played against 4 of those members, and she won against all of them.
Wow.
She played against Slush, and she won against Slush as well. So she said she was training every day, and she had an amazing performance. I mean, in the tournament, she was doing amazing. There was a girl from what was it again? I think Taiwan. She is a grandmaster, ranked number 1 in Taiwan. And
Lu Wei Rush.
Yeah, Lu Wei, and she got beaten by a diamond player from EU. Can you imagine? Can you believe that? I was like, whoa, what the hell is going on? You know, and then she got into loser bracket, and there she got knocked out again by someone else. And I was so amazed. So just, I mean, that's just so surprising.
I watched some of the bits of the stream, some of the matchups. They were interesting, pretty cool. And I actually watched some ZVZs, and they were cool as well. And people don't like ZVZ that much, but yeah, it was quite fun to watch, quite interesting to watch. And let me just mention this: I do like the fact that there's a ladies' cup. Don't have anything against it, but I would like to see more of a mix. You know, like just. Ladies, sit down. Let's do this. You know, like face the boys, crush the boys, and let's see how far you can get. Yeah. But yeah, the event was really nice.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you mentioned. You just said I want to see more of a mix. But really, if there is a needle in a haystack, there's not going to be much of a mix. I mean, you're not going to see that mix, despite of ladies actually competing in mixed tournaments. So really,
I'm sorry. I was just saying that I read the comment that there was a player. I think I'm not sure if it was the lady casting with you from North America that she was on MLG Columbus.
Navi.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it was Navi, to be honest. It
Okay.
was a
Well,
North.
a lot of
Go ahead.
players went to MLG Columbus actually from those
Uh-huh.
females, and yeah, it was amazing, and they were very pleased. They liked it very much. We're gonna have more, and if anyone is wondering why we have these ladies cups, is because of the simple reason. I think these tournaments definitely promote females into StarCraft because they get motivated and they see meet one another and actually see there are females playing this wonderful game as well.
Yeah,
The second reason
true.
is they get to meet one another, so they can actually compete among one another and get more motivated and to actually keep on playing this game. And
Good
that's
for
the
me.
second reason, definitely. And the third one is to show people that there are actually females playing this game.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
is that
yeah.
important? Because we need to accept everyone who's playing this wonderful game, and we want to give females a stage as well. So I think it's a really good thing, and whoever thinks that's not, they can always contact me. I can really prove to you that it's not.
I'm gonna make public service announcement for myself right now.
Mm-hmm.
Girls playing games, I got no problem with that. Ladies, you can find me, the Iceman, GGRated live show. All right, just saying.
No, listen, I read about the fact that there was, well, probably several girls, several ladies playing on the MLG Columbus. One of them did fairly well because you can follow her replays. She went on the open bracket, had to fight a lot of people, obviously, but she had some wins there, doing pretty well. And the last time, I recall watching some videos on Artosis' channel. He had a video of a girl trying to get qualified for the GSL. Was several months ago. So a sign that they will rise to the occasion when due time comes.
Definitely,
But,
definitely.
yeah. But for now,
I know one of
it's
the
awesome.
yeah, I know one of the female gamers from UK. She her name is Cadenza, and she actually went to this LAN party, LAN tournament, and that LAN tournament was casted and featured event on Team Liquid as well. And she came out first, so she actually took the prize money, and that was amazing. And she actually went there. She was physically present, and she managed to be first. So that's amazing, and I believe we're definitely gonna see more of these female gamers.
Awesome.
Okay, so moving
shout
on.
outs to all the female gamers out there, and
Oh, yeah.
really good of you, Suna, to sort of lead that with the casting you're doing for the Iron Ladies Cup. So hats off to you, I guess.
Yeah,
And,
definitely. Oh, sorry. I just so sorry to interrupt you, but I really
ahead.
want to mention this too. We have a Facebook group of female StarCraft 2 players. If you want to join us,
Link it on the
yeah,
chat, and I'll add
gonna-
the link later on.
Okay, I'm going to link it right now. We already have like 94 female players from North America as well as Europe and all the Eastern countries, Australia and such. Hold on, I'm going to link it right now.
People from the chat are asking if they can join this. They're a male.
No, you can't actually join it as male. I'm really sorry. We're
can at
doing
least go
a
there.
check. We're
Nice
doing
try,
Come on,
guys.
you can
Yeah.
at least go there and say like. I mean, like would be something. Huh?
Yeah, go
I'm
to
not
Facebook
sure if
and
you
leave a
can
like
do
comment.
this.
that. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you can do that actually, but
No,
we
okay.
do a voice check, whatever chat can check. So if you're male, don't try, don't bother, because you're not gonna get in. I'm really sorry.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the GSTL and wrap this up.
Oh, real quick, one last thing with the GSL. I just want to mention
Go.
000 Visor in the chat. Just let me know that in Group A, Rain forfeited actually, and it was he posted the link to Team Liquid thread, and so that Group A has been thinned out. So now it's just NST, July, and Trikster because Rain has forfeited, and it is confirmed. So
Question for both of you. Will it be related with the fact that he just left the Korean teams and he joined Fnatic MSI? He might be start to play outside of Korea, so he's not going to be available. You know, because now he's a member of Team Fnatic MSI with Sen and Phoenix and all those guys. So might be related with it. He's just saying, screw it, I'm not going to spend another month here trying to battle my way to get a bit of money. I'm just going to go and expand my horizons, try to grab a ton of money on some other major events outside of Korea. Might be that the reason why.
Chojin from the chat is saying that Rain is going to actually study in the USA, so he left GOM.
Okay,
see.
cool. I know he's part of Fnatic MSI now, so maybe he's going to study there,
Yeah, I
like
saw that bit of
Select
news as
did.
well.
You know, Select also went there to study, but I guess the study has been a bit on the hold, like, you know. So I'm not sure if Rain is going to do that or not, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it is an interesting decision here by Rain, but we might be seeing more Koreans leaving that little bit of land and try to expand their horizons. Who knows?
Let's jump into the GSTL real quick, and
Go for it.
I'll just get the VOD rolling, and you can start us up. Why don't you start us on the conversation, Hydra, since we got the bracket results there.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Pineapple on the chat. He wants to have questions and answers. I'm pretty sure he has questions. It's not for me. Iceman, it's not for you. So just stay put. Let's take a look here at the results. On the GSTL, I still haven't sat down and watched today's matches, and so I haven't had the pleasure of sitting down and listening to Gun Run, like VampireLady was just mentioning. But we had an interesting day one with FX Open showing up there. But first of all, was Slayers versus MVP. They opened the matches there. Was an interesting face-off with Team MVP, surprisingly or not, taking the win 4-3. And the player that again was able to just get hold of the reins, grab the reins, and steer that train that was the MVP team was Dongraigu. I mean, Alicia took 2 games over Noblesse and Violet to open the hostilities. Then Guinea Pig destroyed Alicia. Boxer destroyed Guinea Pig. And then Dongraigu showed up and made 3-0. He defeated Boxer, he defeated Ganzi, and he defeated MMA. I already mentioned Dongraigu here. He's probably the new wave of Zerg in Korea. He resembles a bit, in my opinion, on his playstyle to what July Zerg has on his style, the aggressiveness, you know, and throwing a lot of units to your opponent, just destroy as much as possible, no matter the costs. I'm just going to make another huge army afterwards. And Dongraigu just crushed here Slayers. Slayers were actually doing pretty well until he got there. And then he just 3-0'd Boxer, Gunzi, and MMA, and provided with the win for Team MVP, so congrats to them. Follow to that, we had the FX Open team, and it was interesting to see them clashing against StarTale. I'm not sure if you're aware, but everyone, especially on the Korean side of the community, were saying StarTale is going to make an all kill. This is going to be 4-0. So FX Open actually lost, but it wasn't 4-0, it was 4-2, because Sheth and Twilight were able to take a couple of wins over the Koreans. So a sign that there was some resistance there, and FXO wasn't as bad as the Koreans were trying to make them. We had QXC losing game 1 against Tiger, then Sheth sat down, defeated Tiger. Sheth got defeated by Curious on a ZVZ, then Twilight defeated Curious, and Squirtle showed up to save the day, defeating Twilight and Moonan, and getting that Series 1 4-2 in favor of StarTale. Now, short commentary about Sheth, because everyone was commenting, talking about that, and we mentioned it previously before we started the show. The Koreans were filming Sheth a lot because Sheth plays with his mouse on his desk and his keyboard on his laptop. What you got on his on his lap, his keyboard on his lap. What you guys think about that? Is it a reason for people to focus so much on it, or were just the Koreans trying to be too obsessive over it? They were going way too obsessive, or trying to show it as a weakness because you don't have a stable position to use your keyboard, and he was just a bad player because of that. What you guys think were going through their minds? And I would like to know your opinions.
Okay. Is it right? I'm just gonna go first real quick here. Honestly, I think that Koreans have a very rigid playstyle, I think, and you can just see how they're dedicated and focused, and there's sort of I guess a right way and a wrong way, I guess, to play this game so far for them, sort of, as you could say. And seeing something like this, I guess they haven't seen it before. They're just really, I guess, shocked or amazed by this. And, you know, how could someone like this play in such a foreign manner? But as we were discussing earlier before the show, it's really how you're comfortable playing. I mean, Suna was mentioning how different players who play fighting games will, you know, hold their fight sticks differently, or, you know, sit on the floor, whatever they're comfortable with. So, I mean, maybe it's just something that they're in shock and awe of rather than something to make fun of. So, but I don't know, I'm not Korean, but it just seems that the Korean lifestyles, you know, they're very rigid, very focused, and set in their ways, I guess you could say. So maybe that has something to do with it, but I'll pass the topic.
Yeah, I think it's not something really that's special. I think it's just out of the ordinary. Like usually players don't do that, and that's why. And as a cameraman, whatever deviation there is, you always want to catch that, and they did that
Yeah.
a good job, regardless of it whether it be Korean, American, or European. I mean, if Chef was doing that first time in United States or in Europe, one of those tournaments, they would be recording that as well, just because it's not a standard way of playing the game. But like, as I mentioned before, it's just how you feel comfortable with. Really, some people like have different play styles. They use a lot of control groups. Yeah, actually, using control groups very, very well. You should always try to use a lot of control groups. But I mean, like some people have really different play styles, whether they play left-handed or with their mouse with their keyboard on their lap. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with, and I don't think that's really it's anything more than that, and I don't think it has anything to do with Koreans or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, what's next now?
I'm going to cover the last set of groups there, Hydra.
Okay, last set, and then I'm going to leave a question for both of you. You had Incredible Miracle facing Team 4U with Happy destroying the first two opponents from Team 4U, Nuclear and Lucky, and then Gumiho showed up to destroy Happy. Yonghwa, one of the most well-recognized members from Team IM, besides those gods that are there on the top, I am MVP, I am Nesty, and so on, and Lozira. Yonghwa is one of the solid gamers they have, killed Gumiho, and then SC4U showed up to destroy Yonghwa and Lozira, really good, and then I am Yoda, killed SC, and with that, I am in Team Incredible Miracle, got a win 4-3 over Team 4U, and they're going to move ahead on the tournament, and well, let's see who they're going to face next. Leaving a question here that doesn't have anything to do with the GSL. You guys want to make any comments about these results? Any specific player?
I really don't have any comment.
Yeah.
Okay, so simple question for both of you. What about the news of Incontrol leaving NASL?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, some people in the chat were asking about if we could talk about Trikster and I just forgot who it was.
And FruitDealer.
Yeah,
FruitDealer
and
Trikster.
Trikster are leaving TSL. So since we're on the topic of GSL, perhaps we should cover that first.
Sure, let's go for it.
All right. It was announced that TSL is going to be actually losing a couple of their members, Trikster and FruitDealer, and it seems that the reasoning is that TSL needs to reform. Trikster and FruitDealer both disagreed with the direction that TSL was taking with their team, and they chose to leave the team. So I'm just quoting here from Team Liquid. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. What do you think is going to happen to these two guys? Because FruitDealer, as we know, is the GSL Season 1 champion, and Trikster, a very strong player in his regards as well. Do you think they're going to be joining some other teams? Possibly some people are speculating that they might be joining FXO.
I mean, it could be a possibility, and being them both veterans, and because apparently the scene is expanding, meaning that the Koreans are leaving Korea, who knows, we might see both of them on a foreign team. But those guys are used to have that Korean discipline. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that the main teams, the top teams in Korea, are considering those two guys. I mean, FruitDealer is on a kind of a slump. He started really well and then kind of disappeared. Same thing happened with the Trikster, SSKS, Sagisu, all these names that you already had. He was huge, probably the main Protoss back on the days of the beta of Starcraft 2, and then slowly faded away. But I mean, they're two solid players, and I would like to see them on some foreign team roster, for example, would be cool.
Yeah. Suna, any thoughts?
I really don't. I didn't follow that scene as much. But as far as it goes for leaving the team, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of teams, and they're just considering their options for whatever team they may go for. Now we saw that, like with the Root Gaming going to Complexity. And some members left Root Gaming and didn't join Complexity, just went for another a clan. I think the same might happen to those Korean gamers as well. Because I definitely, unless they have like an announcement to make for that are going to focus on their study or whatever, I'm definitely sure they're just currently considering their options for whatever clan is in the best of their interest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's not too much more to say on that until we're going to see and just watch how these events unfold and what unwraps. But, I mean, it was pretty clear why they left. They just didn't like the direction things were going in with the team. And, I mean, practice is a big involvement with the team aspect. And if they don't like the things the way are going or the management, maybe something like that. So, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. There's not too much to speculate over. And, I mean, obviously good players, top-tier players over there in Korea. Whether they've been faltering or not a little bit lately, doesn't matter. They're still big name players, and I'm sure some team is going to pick them up. But let's move on to the other question that you had, Hydra. Incontrol leaving NASL.
Yeah.
For me, that was a shocking piece of news. I kind of did a double take when I saw that posted on the internet. As you guys might know, Incontrol was basically the head man, head honcho of NASL, who was really the leader and pushing for all of that. I mean, he was always making an announcement for an announcement of a coming announcement on State of the Game, and he was really just, blowing this up, giving this huge hype, and man, just leaving NASL just like that, it's really shocking for me to hear. I mean, his reasons are that he wants to focus on the game, he wants to focus on playing, and he wants to be more of a pro gamer rather than a caster. But for me, I mean, it's just a little bit odd to see the man who was basically the front man, the leader of NASL, just retire like this after one season.
That's definitely true. I was shocked because Incontrol was a man, like the leading captain of this boat called NASL, and he was promoting it and was constantly talking about it and he was doing a great job, really. I think out of all the casters, he was one of the better ones, and he was doing an amazing job, and I'm really baffled that he's just abandoning his baby, as if I may say so, and just focusing on pro gaming, which I think, well, I think he's talented, but I think like that he's only focusing on that. That's kind of weird. I think I'm pretty sure there are different reasons for him to quit NASL, because you're not going to start a big thing like NASL and then quit like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure behind the scenes there are some things going on we may not be aware of, because NASL is, well, as he announced, it was pretty big. It is still pretty big, and yeah, I think he's just taking too much energy from him, but nah, that's probably not. Well, whatever. I think we're gonna hear way more of that. Control.
Yeah. He already has a big thread on TL. He already went there to post saying that it wasn't my project. I was like the head, the face. I was promoting it. Yes, I hyped it like a freak, like a madman. But it wasn't my project, and I think that it's time for me to leave. I want to play the game. I don't want to cast a game, or I want to cast less and just show everyone that I have what it takes to be a good pro gamer. And he's going to change. I guess he's going to transition. I mean, he already left State of the Game. He leaves NASL. He's just dropping all the jobs, so to speak, he had, and he's going to focus all of his time on pro gaming. And now just proving everyone that this is live, incoming a link to the last match I have on my channel, July Zerg versus Mouse Mana. There you go. It's live.
Thanks, Hydra, proving the trolls wrong. But yeah, as Suna was saying, maybe we kind of suspected this a little bit on previous episodes, that there could be some turmoil or unrest behind the scenes. Actually, I mean, some of the players have complained. We have seen, for example, Naniwa, another example, making the comment, thank goodness I'm out of this tournament. Some players, there might be some unrest going on behind the scenes. We don't know. It could just be genuine that Incontrol really does just want to get back to gaming. I mean, I could see that being true because he is a very good gamer. He does dedicate lots of his time to practice and to coaching specifically, and he is a prominent figure in Team Evil Geniuses. So, I mean, if he wants to keep repping that position, maybe he feels that he needs to step up with his gameplay as well. I mean, it
It needs
could
time
be,
to do that.
might be
It
a
needs
mixture
time.
of all these things. Yeah, exactly. And maybe this is just one of the things he wanted to get started, and either A, it didn't turn out the way that he wants it to be, or it's not heading in the direction he wanted to, and
Yeah,
now he's feeling like he's going to get out
definitely.
now and just focus on
Yeah, of
gaming.
course.
Or
I mean,
B, or go ahead.
oh, sorry. Like State of the Game, for example, is just a talk show, and it's just you have to see like a bunch of women who get together and have a nice tea time. You know, that's kind of what State of the Game is. But NASL was his project. NASL is really huge. There is a lot of money involved in
Yeah,
NASL, and
exactly.
he was the fundamental behind NASL. He was the man who led the whole project forward, and for him to step out and then suddenly he realizes, hey guys, I have to play the game. I'm sorry, I'm stepping out. It's kind of, I'm just not buying it. I think there's definitely something else going on.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm guessing things are going to unravel a bit more, and we'll hear more and we'll learn more as things go on. But just to me, it seemed really shocking because it seemed sort of like, Incontrol's baby. This was his project.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, it could be a
Definitely.
mix of things, so
Yep,
it's
definitely.
going to be very interesting to see what happens. And
Okay.
that's it for all the topics we have today. I don't know, Suna, do you have to go? Because I think some people were clamoring for Q&A. I'm not sure if we have
Q&A.
time to that.
Oh,
I'm not really sure what they want the Q&A for.
I think it was just Pineapple. Pineapple, you still there? You want to make a question? Q&A. Oh my God!
It's gonna
If
be
the
such a
questions
troll
is just if it's just trolling, I'm just gonna kill this.
Well, he's not popping up any questions, so I guess we should try and wrap things up here then, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go for some shout-outs real quick here. Any messages you want to say while we're on air soon? Anything you want to pump? Shout-outs to anybody?
not really. Just shout outs to everyone who keeps on playing and supporting this game. Thank you all for watching, and that's basically it.
Any tournaments or any castings coming up that you want to promote?
Well, I'm definitely gonna cast more, but I'm not really sure of when that's gonna be. But I'll let you guys know.
Okay. Hydra, anything from you?
Well, for me, just take a look at the channel if you want to see more DreamHack matches that didn't get the proper cover. They weren't properly covered by the live streams available then. There was some games, good ones, that were left on the side. It happens. I mean, people are only human, and there was a lot of games to cover. And the rest, just stay tuned for episode 22 because we're going to keep going and keep rolling with this.
Definitely. And people are asking where they can follow us, so finally I'm getting to my shout-outs. Guys, if you want to follow us, you can follow us on Twitter, that is twitter.com/GGRated, or you can follow us on Justin TV, that is justin.tv/GGRated. And I believe we're going to be working on getting up a Facebook page here soon enough, because I know people were asking about that previously, and I think we decided that we are going to do something like that. And also, the website is being worked on. I know we've had the website for forever, it seems like, and we just have not done anything other than store podcast and XML content on that. And yeah, we're just working on a bunch of stuff behind the scenes right now. I know Sebastian has quite a bit of stuff that he's working on as well, that we're kind of combining GG Vision and GGRated together, and our forces are kind of combining to produce something really epic. So yeah, if you guys stay tuned, just follow us on Twitter or Justin TV for now. Also, we have a thread on Team Liquid. You can search the forums for the GGRated live show. And yeah, just put your 2 cents in there and follow us. And we're going to keep expanding what we're doing here. So everybody who did tune in today, or everybody who is going to tune in to the podcast later on, thanks a lot, viewers. And we really appreciate your support and time. Spread the word, tell your friends. And big thanks to VampireLady, who joined us here. Kind of.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for having me. It was great, and you guys take care. Thank you for all the viewers and people who listen to the podcast. It's just epic, really. And I hope I'll join more of your shows in the future.
We will definitely work on having you in the future then. And so everybody who tuned in, thanks again. We will see you next time on episode 22. And Iceman here signing out. GG. GG! Yeah, I love that, Hydra. See you guys. Have fun.
Bye-bye. So it's over.